found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
Yo, how you living? How you feeling? How you doing? First Choice Fantasy, and we are back today. We have a different video for you guys. We're going to do it every 3 weeks. So today's week 4. Well,
don't count us on the math. We don't do math.
Yeah. I'm a math minor.
You'll get them when we get them.
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about trade targets, who you should be targeting in trades and who you should be targeting away from trades, I guess. Whoever you're shipping out and whoever you're shipping in trades in week 4.
Solid recovery.
This is probably going to last for 3 weeks-ish because we're going to do them every 3 weeks and whatnot. So this is valid for the next 3 weeks. Alex, you can kick us off with your first 2 trade targets, I guess.
This is valid forever. I'm going to go with a couple of buying low. We're going to start off with DJ Moore. I will never get off this bandwagon. The hell with all of you. The Panthers are going to realize sooner or later that he's the only guy they should be throwing the ball to. I don't think Curtis Samuel was a real person, and Robbie Anderson can have a few targets. Stop throwing the ball to Mike fucking Davis. That's all I ask. Man, you should go out there and train for DJ Moore, man. He was really consistent last year down the stretch. And it's going to happen again. Believe me. Another guy who's really consistent as practically a wide receiver too that no one seems to care about is Jamison Crowder, and he's hurt. That's even better. You should always go after the injured guys.
Always.
The Roners are, no one thinks you don't, Jameson Crowder, whatever. He's just a guy. Well, he's probably pretty useful when he comes back, given the Jets have no receivers, and he seems like he's always open. So, go get him. Snap him up. Also, while I'm here, you should also make a run at McCaffrey if you can, because I've already seen him traded in the league. So why not? Why not give it a shot?
Go for Saquon while you're at it as well.
Hey.
Especially in redrafts.
I don't know why you brought that up.
I feel like you traded a lot for him.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I had a lot. Not really, but you know what I mean. I traded a lot of temporary players and 2 first-round picks to get.
I just want to say, guess who's on pace to have the top 2 picks in that draft?
Me and Ryan. Lexington and
no, McGuire and Austin.
I forgot about Austin, but yeah, that makes sense.
Pretty pumped about that one. Anyway, Ed,
my
trading for
targets as of right now, A.J. Brown is my first one, okay? So A.J. Brown, obviously, like Brandon or like Alex said, go for those injured people. Don't actually go for the injured people. But in this case and Alex's cases, they actually make sense to go trade for him. Obviously, A.J. Brown had a league-winning end of his year last year. Put up 31, 21, 15, and 20. Pretty valid if you ask me. I think that was just, obviously – that's what his potential is, and I think he could potentially do that this year if he comes back. I mean, I seen a report 2 days ago that said he could be out beyond this coming week because his knee injury is pretty significant and he hasn't really recovered yet. But once he does get back, say he comes back after the bye, okay? Cincinnati, that may not be a game where they get many pass attempts, but then you have Chicago, Indianapolis, Baltimore, Indianapolis. There's going to be a lot of high passing games, and I think obviously with Tannehill passing, I think 35 times in 2 of the first 3 games, which is more than he did in the entire season last year. They're passing at a higher clip. That means more volume goes around. I think A.J. Brown's pretty efficient with his volume, and I think he's a good trade target. This might not just be for 3 weeks because obviously if he's out for those 3 weeks, it's invalid practically. But I mean, in the long run, I think is a good snag for the rest of the season. Antonio Gibson's also another snag. I believe is a great rest of season player. If the quarterbacks do change, I think Alex Smith is smarter, and I think that he may just get the ball rolling in that offense with these young players like Terry McLaurin. Might not be the first game, obviously, like I said, but Antonio Gibson, I think he should get a decent amount of volume from a target perspective. He's practically dominating the carries as well. What's his name? Peyton Barber kind of disappeared. Antonio Gibson season long, I think he has a very good outlook among all rookie running backs. Breaking a lot of tackles also. If he's I think he has the most broken tackles per attempt in the league right now. Something notable, and I think he's going to keep that up for the rest of the season. My extra pick is Amari Cooper. You should trade for him because, like I said, he's been consistent. He hasn't got a touchdown yet. Those will come. and he'll keep putting up numbers.
Word.
Brandon, let's hear it.
All right. My trade for targets got to get players. Kenyan Drake is one of them. Like we said earlier this week in our running back start sit episode, got to take Drake. Take Drake.
Hey, Drake.
That's what you need to do. In this situation, he hasn't scored, or he has scored. He has one touchdown week 1, and he's been getting 16 to 20 runs a game.
Targets.
And hasn't done a whole lot with it. However, his season outlook is looking bright. If you snag him before this week, he's a automatic start in my mind this week. I know, Ed, I believe you had him as a start. One of us did. And week 5 going against Jets. And then Dallas after that, Seattle, Miami after the bye. Just cakewalk games. And I think he's going to blow up eventually. I know Carolina. I know Cardinals got D-Hop. They're looking like they're better than ever. And I think the one missing link is a running back to explode. And I think Kenyan Drake will do that here soon. So trade for him. Get him. Kind of the same mindset as you guys had. Drew Lock, he's hurt. I know people don't expect a lot out of Drew Lock. They don't think he's great. At least he hasn't proved it. However, he is better than what they have now. And Cortland Sutton is no longer going to be playing this year, as everyone should know at this point. Noah Fant is looking beautiful, and Jerry Jeudy is another Denver Bronco who I think has potential of just exploding because of targets and just the game script. I think these Broncos players, Noah Fant is being relied on pretty heavily. It's pretty evident the past 3 weeks. He's gotten 6 targets, 5 targets, 10 targets. He's the go-to guy. Jerry Jeudy is going to step into shape because he's a rookie. It takes him a little bit longer. And, yeah, so those are my starts.
Those are your trade targets, but
yeah, trade targets and one
of
them
the
whole
start.
thing.
Yeah.
all right. Trade away now. Alex, you can kick it off with your 2 players you are looking to trade away right now.
All right, my first guy, I'm going to go with A.J. Green because we're at the point where I'm just not sure if he still has it like he used to. And a lot of people seem to think that he does, so you should see what you can get out of those people. Maybe you can get McLaurin out of them. Be a bit of an upgrade in my mind, but yeah, just not feeling it. He's gotten a lot of targets and hasn't really done a lot with them. Very unlike AJ Green, but it's been a minute, and age is a bitch. Father time, undefeated. I'm not feeling it. Speaking of father time, I'm also saying to trade away Devontae Freeman because if you were one of those fiends that scooped him up like he was like the next Mike Davis, I don't know if you should be counting on that, especially when he's on like one of the worst teams in the league and he himself is a little past his glory days. I think you should get rid of him if you can get something out of him. I saw Ed, you traded him for something in one of our leagues. Like that's what you should be doing. If you can move this man, you should look to move him.
I don't know if his value is still there. I mean, it might still be there. But what I got for him was Wentz and Zach Moss, which isn't a whole lot, but
It's something.
It's something, exactly. Probably shouldn't have him on your roster because there really is no upside, even though, he finished as a top 10 running back this year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Different situation, different age, he's a different player. He's not the same. He's bad. He's washed. Get rid of him. I agree.
My team sucks, so
That too.
I doubt he's going to be out there rushing for 170 yards a game.
I agree. My trade away players, my players I'm trading away, the players that are which traded. Will Fuller, the 5th, not the 4th, not the 6th. Will Fuller, the 5th, is my trade away target. This is bad English, but Will Fuller obviously isn't the healthiest motherfucker on the planet. He had a hamstring injury, I believe, week 2. So obviously he's shown that he hasn't just, drank magical Kool-Aid and is just all healthy all of a sudden. So the injury risk is still there. While the schedule is looking very beautiful in the next coming weeks, compared to the first 3 weeks, I just don't see him holding up. He has looked good in week 1 and 3. He has put up points in week 1 and 3, and I think that is enough to entice people to want to trade for him. So you should get him off your roster while you can. Yeah, that's all I got to say about Will Fuller. Now, my second one, it might contradict my start of the week at the running back position, and I was going to have a hard time kind of describing this to you guys, but people like me think, David Montgomery has the workload all to himself right now. So his value is going to be decently high. So before he even touches the field as a complete workhorse just yet, try to see what you can get for him. Because if you can get a decent amount for him right now and say he shits the bed, or say Cordell Patterson comes out of nowhere and does take up those targets, you're going to be fucked. He's going to have his value back to what he had when Cohen was there. So I think trading him right now at his peak value, or peak perceived value, I guess, would be the smart move with David Montgomery, even though I did have him as a start this week. But it's besides the point.
Well, you're not alone.
Speaking of guys suggested to trade, who we also just started.
Exactly. I have Odell Beckham. Like I shouted out in the wide receiver episode, check it out. After this week, he's gonna go back to same old Odell Beckham Jr. that we've known for a while now. Just inconsistent. The lowest lows, the highest highs, but there's more low than there is high. So once you get that high, get rid of him. Let him go. Send Odell Beckham away into the breeze. Let him be someone else's problem to consider playing week in and week out. Why have yourself a headache when you can trade a guy who has that name value, will most likely do really good this week, and has been, not very good in the past year and a half. So trade him away, see what you can get for him. This isn't news, let's be honest. You probably considered this, but this is just keep an eye out. If he does good, trade him.
You got to consider most OBJ fans are huge OBJ fans, and they still see him as that guy jumping over Cowboys defenders, catching the ball with his eyes shut with one hand draped behind his head. Wow, he might be able to pull that out. He can't do what he was doing on a week-to-week basis back then.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Another player who has proven to not be able to do it week to week is James Conner. He's done it the past 2 weeks. And although having this workhorse back role locked down, he's going to produce. He's going to look, I guess good, because the Steelers, whoever gets the ball with the Steelers, if they have any type of skill, they're going to look good. However, James Conner, he's been hurt. He's been banged up. He's just not a player I want to have on my team personally. Some players, some fantasy owners are willing to have a player that on their team. Maybe they've got the depth and you feel comfortable with it. But for me, James Conner, just that threat of him being able to get down any week is, pretty intimidating. So I'm going to ship him out. And that's my trade away target.
That reasoning kind of feels like my reasoning. And
yeah.
With Will Fuller.
That's why I was thinking when you were telling your explanation. I was like, yep.
Makes sense. I agree with it. And I agree with Will Fuller, and I agree with David Montgomery and James Conner and OBJ and AJ Green and Devonta Freeman. Trade those away while you're trading for Jamison Crowder, DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Antonio Gibson, Mari Cooper, Kenyan Drake, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, we appreciate you. That's about it for this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Say what's up to Garrison for us while you're down there in the comment section. Just say, yo, what's up, Gary? He'll appreciate it. I don't know if I should give him that nickname, but we appreciate
it.
Cross the
He's
line.
gonna be like, "What the hell, man? I don't like the name Gary."
Hopefully he's
Like-
not watching this far.
He probably won't. Nobody does, except for us. Yeah.
Good
I
luck
don't
in
know.
your leagues this week.
Good luck. Adios.
Later.
Buenos dias, motherfuckers.